we go. I do believe we are live, so I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another Conscious Evolution. Today, we're going to consider what it means to be helpful. Yesterday, we really dove deep, maybe even unintentionally so, into this whole fractal of wanting to feel important. That was the specific word we used, right, over and over again. This need uh, to occupy some sort of importance in the world. And I was really like curious about why that is something that we or I could want. But more important than just the questioning of why, I feel the answer that is helpfulness might be the how, right? That if you want to feel important, you don't gain importance by people giving it to you. You gain importance by being helpful. And maybe, if we're going to analyze that deep, my want to feel important is directly correlated to my ego's desire to be acknowledged as helpful, right? Because I am trying to help. Jeez, I try to help all the time. I got a, what's the word I'm looking for? Terugvoer. I got feedback from my client. I told you friends that yesterday we spent a bunch of time kind of moving levers, right? And those levers made us a sequence, and that sequence, that storyboard alongside the images that it created was sent to my client. And then last night he comes back to me and he's just stoked, right? Like literally the amount of excitement you can hear in his voice, like genuine excitement and happiness of the stuff that I've created. And he goes, "Yeah, this is awesome. I could not have done it better myself." Right? And hearing this stuff is like, I don't want him to not feel like he couldn't do it because I believe he could. But feeling so helpful that someone believes you're helping in a way that they couldn't have helped themselves, right? And that making me feel a sense of importance. Not so much from an inflated ego perspective, but just from an acknowledgement perspective, right? Getting to have that confirmation, getting to share that moment of, yeah, you do good. Good? You're doing good. Joy Vive is here with us. Nancy too. Jovan as well. Yay! He loves it. On the first try. Whoop whoop! Yeah! Yeah! How nice is that, right? Like I spent some time. So the theme. This is what I was given, right? I was shown some works of art, but the theme was supposed to be like the occult, the mysterious, the secretive, right? And it has to have like elements of like people opening a portal. That was basically what I was given, and that in and of itself, it does sound like a cool concept. Until you take into consideration, I have to create 23 hours worth of something to look at, right? And if it's 23 hours of the exact same scene, it's not gonna work. So I use all of these ideas, these themes that they want, implemented into their space. I use the colors that they want to see, the kind of colors they associate with their brand. And I I basically ask, a model to storyboard me a whole thing. I kind of have like creative direction, I can steer it in a direction, trying to create like a narrative. And there is somewhat of a narrative in the art itself, but I feel like it's vague enough and scattered enough that every single person who looks at that art is going to have a different interpretation of it, which of course sounds only like a win to me. And then after getting the confirmation, we basically spend the day going even deeper, right? Like we did some cool stuff today, and I'm like kind of itching to share with you friends, but that would be poor business etiquette if I share the special visuals with you friends again beforehand. Love is true. Melt, what did you do? I'm doing work again, you know? Like the last time we had White Rabbit, we were doing the 3D mapping. We're doing another festival coming up this 22nd of June. This one we're getting paid for, which is amazing, right? The fact that our client paid our quote in full, literally weeks ahead of the show, communicates a level of confidence, right? Like it's like a trust thing. It is an ego thing. It's an importance thing, if you will, right? If your client or the people that you're doing work for is unwilling to pay you for your work, that can make you feel very unimportant, right? Can make you feel like you're not providing any value. So why would they pay you? And technically speaking, I haven't created any value. Technically, right? Before they paid me. Feeling like there's a level of trust. I don't know if this is me again egoing, but that I have shown up in this world in a way where technically a stranger, right? Me and Nantes have met each other a total of 3 times ever. And after that total of 3 times, he paid my quote in full, you know, 2 weeks ahead of the show. Sure, I could disappear with it, you know, ruin my reputation like that, and I'm guessing he's trusting that I wouldn't want to do that either. But it's a good feeling being helpful. We talked yesterday about how it might be like some sort of cultural conditioning, but I think it's simpler than that. It might just be, you know, feels nice kind of vibes. I have some jelly bean in here. I do feel better. I feel I was more sick yesterday than I am today. I like wrapped myself up under 3 blankets and I sweated. Right, I like tried to cook myself underneath them. It was very uncomfortable, but I think it helps. Dear Lord, I made a great cup of coffee. Nice. Bless your coffee and bless you for drinking it. Louisiana's here too, blessing our friends. Did you share the exciting news of your family, Mel? I know they think you're a complete waster, but you're getting paid work, and that's wonderful. I didn't really end up getting to share with my family because nobody asked. There was that's actually a lie. One of my cousins, Ron, he actually was the only person who took it upon himself to have a genuine conversation with me and ask me, you know, about what's going on in my life. And upon him asking, "Hey, we have living my best life here, bless you, friend." Upon him asking me, you know, what I have going on, because like I think maybe that's why my family doesn't ask. They just assume I'm doing my thing, right? Kind of vibes. They're like, oh yeah, he's doing his live streams and yoga and art. You know, what else does he have to do? Why ask him if he's doing anything else? And then my cousin asks me like directly, yeah, I know about the streams and about the yoga and about the art. Uh, what do you have going on? And I'm like, wow, funny you ask me. I've been doing, you know, these visuals for festivals. And I tell him about the previous festival we did. I tell him about this festival we did. I tell him about the quotes, you know, about the ability to scale. I tell him about step 5 as well, right? Step 1, stream, apparently. Step 2, start yogaing. Step 3, start arting. Step 4, start using that art for festivals. Step 4.0, 4.1, gather information from the festival arts and then use that information to market towards like corporate entities, bars, clubs, right? That kind of stuff. And I get to share this with him and getting to see him being like, oh wow, that's pretty smart, you know. And getting to have that moment with him was nice. Yeah. Didn't get to talk about it with anyone else though, which is fine. I think it's fine. mm Good point. They might get snarky about it anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't end up sharing. Right. I'm actually pretty conservative, despite how much I talk. In a conversation, I listen more than anything else. There's a stranger here. I think he, I think he went up the wrong road from the looks of it. Um, yeah, I like listening. I talk a lot. So when it comes to social interaction, I'll just listen. I won't talk about myself at all, unless you ask. And I like talking about myself as much as the next person does, right? But I am very much like a prompt-based person. Like I will be just consciousness until you acknowledge that I'm a person as well, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I do person things too. Living my best life, bless you again, and I'm so pleased to hear about your delicious coffee. Mine is pretty yum too. I considered making myself a coffee before stream today, but I didn't have the time. I'm going to add heat to my Dynavap. I have some hella jelly in there. It's very sweet, very nice. Mmm, so tasty. This is my second last nug of it. So I only have one singular nug left. At least I got to enjoy it, right? I put honey and cinnamon in my coffee this morning. How's your coffee? That sounds so nice. Joe got fancy coffee this morning. Yo, mine is with some milk. I wasn't drinking coffee for a while because trying to manage anxiety. So being able to drink it again without compounding, it is extra special. I'm so happy about that for you, Nancy. Coffee is nice, and drinking liquid anxiety doesn't sound like a vibe. So you not having to experience that is good. I don't think I've had cinnamon in coffee before. I'm guessing was supposed to be that word. I've had cinnamon in coffee before. It's just like a spiciness. We here in South Africa have something called melktart, uh, melkkoos, and pannenkoeken. Those are three dishes we eat in South Africa that we use a lot of cinnamon in. And they're kind of similar. They're all like white with brown speckles, right? So when I drink cinnamon in my coffee, it's kind of like drinking pancakes or melkos or malva pudding. No, malva pudding, milk that. Yeah, I can feel you friends being like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's fine. It's fine. It's like what I'm trying to say is that instead of tasting cinnamon at this point in my life, I taste those foods. Right. So drinking that with my coffee is like having a slice of that food with my coffee. So it's kind of nice. Cardamom is a spice. So you were talking about cardamom in coffee. Has anybody tried that? Drinking liquid anxiety doesn't sound like a vibe. I think it. I mean, it's true though. I've had moments of drinking coffee that didn't help. They just kind of put me down an even more of an experience. I think it's some Middle Eastern spice. I don't know what else is in it. Maybe I missed the comment. Oh, there it was. Joe, this is a place I go to on weekends sometimes for lattes, and they have some cardamom added to it. And it's so yummy. There we go. I think I wasn't on all messages, so it like just showed me your first one for a second. Yinanshi, glad you're in a place where you can keep moving forward. Anxiety stuffs. Our brains are powerful things. I sometimes mix cardamom tea in my coffee. Such yum. The more you know. I've been thinking about compounds a lot, right? I've been drinking a lot of tea. Like you would be appalled if you knew how much tea I'm drinking. Like it's kind of absurd. And you're like, it can't be that bad. Like I'm drinking like half a gallon of tea a day minimum. Right? Like I'm serious. It's kind of bad. But the tea I'm drinking is a rooibos tea, which has like antioxidants in it and stuff. So I'm drinking it with that in mind. Like I'm putting a bunch of antioxidants in my system. And then last night, I did some chamomile with ginger. And then I'm thinking about the fact that chamomile has like a calming effect and helps you sleep. And the ginger was like spicy, like literally, like it was hurting me. I put a lot. I put a lot in there. Like maybe I maybe overdid it a bit, but more, right? So yeah, like drinking that ginger tea, the ginger compounds being so potent that it like hurts me a little bit to consume it. Thinking what that's doing inside of my system, how it's fighting those little buggers as well. I'm getting a little bit stuffy again. It's almost like when I settle into my nighttime, like I get sicker. I can feel like a pressure in my head. There's never too much tea. I want to try that. The cardamom tea in the coffee, maybe? Probably. Yeah, it's not too much tea. It's the exact right amount of tea. It is nice because like I'm drinking it from a perspective of adding warmth to my system as well. And then I'll like, have myself like wrapped up in a blanket and then I'll drink the tea and then I'll want to not be in the blanket anymore, right? And I think about that. I'm like, yes, heat, energy, an exchange is happening. And I'm a little bit of a psycho when it comes to how warm I want my tea. After the water boils, right? Like we have a gas stove little kettle. After the water boils, and I pour it over my tea bags. I take those tea bags with the boiling water still on them straight to the microwave. And then I add 30 seconds of more warmth, right? And it sometimes, and I'm saying sometimes, like every time, literally boils. When you see the microwave stop, there's like bubbles coming out from the cup. And I believe that it also helps pull more of the compounds out of the tea leaves because of those microwaves, right? Literally scrubbing water molecules over the top of those little leaves. And then I add milk, and then I add more microwave, and then I try and drink that tea as fast as possible. I'll literally like burn myself a little bit until it reaches that temperature, and then I'm just like as hot as it possibly can be. And if it cools down, like by the halfway point, guy, I don't drink it fast enough, I'll go and put it in the microwave again, just to make sure that it's absolutely scathing. Am I the only one who does that? Is that a normal thing to do? Let me know about your friends' experiences. Yeah, so we can talk drinks here. That's a cool distinction. You guys ever have those Bloody Marys where they cram a whole meal on top of it? I see Sam trying to like skirt lines here, you know. Sam is like, guess we can talk about liquids. Liquids are I feel a little bit less uh fantastical, should I say that? Right? Like you don't desire a liquid. Maybe if you're very thirsty, right? So there are some caveats, but you don't desire a liquid uh, in your mind's fantasies the same way you'll desire food items, right? Because I think all of us have tea available to us, and all of us probably have coffee available to us. So like the stuff, if you talk about liquid like that, uh, we can desire this thing and go and make ourselves some. But you friends talk about like tacos, stuff like that as well. That's like out of my reach. So now suddenly I find myself thinking about something that's not what we're supposed to be talking about. One. And two, I can't even like complete that loop. There's no satisfaction for me to be had because even if I wanted to go out and get myself some tacos, I couldn't. Right? That seems like a scam. Seems like a scam. No, no food. Oh no. My parents will boil ginger, lemon, and whatever fruit is available, like peaches, apple, papaya. And they always have a cold tea in the fridge. I want to be sit close to your parents, Joy. No, that's Jovan. That sounds like a whole vibe. I'll frolic in the open fields with trees surrounding me, drinking my cold tea. It sounds nice. It's in the fridge. Do you drink it cold in that case, or do you heat it up before you drink it? I'm curious. Yeah, a cold. They always have a cold tea in the fridge. You see, now suddenly my mind is like, maybe Jovan is literally talking about it's a cold tea. Like a tea that is cold. Not a not a tea for the cold. Silly me. I feel like, you know what? It will still be for the cold if you drink it, with that intention. mm I don't like tomato juice, but I love all the stuff that comes in Bloody Mary, bacon and olives and tiny pickles. Sam, here's Sam and Kristen, living my best life. Give us something. Give us something. Living my best life. Today's stream topic is about being helpful. This might be too much, and let me know. Like, just ignore me if it is. But let us know how you have been helpful in the world. Or if you don't want to share a personal experience like that, you can share something that was seen by you that you experienced as helpful. Maybe something someone else did for you, if you want to shift the lens like that. How's that for a question? Me desperately trying to get away from the top. Sorry, I was AFK for this whole thing. Siobhan, your coffee sounds amazing. I'm tempted to try it right away. There we go. You know, I was just talking about the fractal of being able to actually do it. Sam, going out for dinner and drinks means going out for Bloody Mary, maybe an appetizer. When I was in Toronto last summer, there was a beautiful tiny little Middle Eastern coffee joint near my hotel that put cardamom in their coffee. I never had it that way. It's definitely addictive. I can imagine the caffeine alongside that makes it actually addictive, like properly addictive. Hello, lovelies. I walked Dixie in the park this morning. Nice. It was lovely, but she stopped for every smell, and there were lots. Thank you, Kristen, for taking out your little one like that. Yeah. I heard recently that even though dogs might not pass the self-awareness test in the mirror, right? And the self-awareness test that we have developed for creatures is to make them used to their own reflection and then put a little spot on their forehead, right? And then suddenly I look at myself in the mirror and I see there's a spot on my forehead and I go, the fuck? Right? Now suddenly they can go, oh look, Melt is self-aware. He tried to remove spot off face. And we can see that happening in animals. It happens in animals. And it doesn't happen for dogs. They don't try and remove the spot from their face. However, apparently, they can, like a mirror, recognize their own scents. Right? So, yeah, the way I interpret that information is that their identity is more attached. And an identity is in the same way we look at a table and identify that as a table. The dogs smell things and identify things like that, right? Like, that's that. And we do that too, but I feel like to them, it's as high definition, if you will, as our sight is. So thank you for taking your little doggo out to go and smell the smells. Speaking of beverages, my niece is in Winnipeg, and I Winnipeg and I are going to start a video podcast where we review fancy non-alcoholic beverages and mocktails. That sounds so nice, actually. I can imagine that being something people would want to actually see, especially since drinks are something that we like experimenting with. So maybe you can even teach people how to make them as well. Is that Bojo? You've been missed, bro. It's nice seeing your name here with us. Sitting 11s. Melt, I got decaf. You're not happy about that? Or maybe you got the decaf at the Middle Eastern coffee joint near your hotel. Right. Probably. Probably. I mean, that's why I'm tripping it now at least. Cold tea, as in, it can be served on ice, but it's totally an immune booster too. There it is. Nice. I'm imagining what, like you mentioned, that your parents put even papaya, peaches, apples, and papaya into a tea. I've never had that, and it does sound very delectable. Some expats I follow live in Joburg, and they've brought over the Taco Tuesday tradition. You can get all the ingredients for tacos over there, surprisingly. I wouldn't be surprised that you could get all of the ingredients. It's just gonna be like niche. I'm gonna have to go to some place, right? And I have been paying attention to the stuff available at the place I buy my food at right now. And there's no taco shells. Technically expense thing. Hey Google. Hey Google. What do taco shells in South Africa cost? Uh yeah, like there's one for 70 rand. Here's one for 131 rand. Corn taco shells. That's not too bad actually. From Woolworths. 12 of them for 76 rand. Right, but because I used to do I want to say I used to do bodybuilding, but that sounds pretentious. When I used to count calories, I think that's a better way to say it. Meat used to be the bar that was the hardest to move because it's very nutrient dense and it's expensive. So when I look at carbohydrates and I see the amount I'll have to eat of it versus the price of it, I instantly like peg it against, the price of like chicken breasts or something like that. And then it doesn't make sense to me to buy these taco shells, right? I can either buy six pieces of sliver of carbohydrate or six breasts of chicken, right? And guess what? The one is gonna be more gooder, more gooderist. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I'm opposed to tacos. I guess I'm opposed to spending money right now. Just because I don't have any money to spend at the end of the month, right? Like if it wasn't like that, if it wasn't like that, it would probably be easier to implement a little bit more diversity. Right now, it's kind of like a vibe of chicken and rice, chicken and pasta, chicken and noodles, ground beef and rice, ground beef and pasta, ground beef and noodles. That's kind of the spectrum. And it does change up, and I use different spices. Sometimes I go a little bit more curry. Sometimes I go a little bit more creamy, right, in flavors like mushroom soupy, sauce mix-ins. So it stays good. I don't not enjoy my food, but it very much is like a consideration thing. Having to be aware of what things cost, especially since we're a lot of people eating in the house as well. Like if it was just for you eating tacos, those shells would last long, but they don't. They don't with more people in the house. No, 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 no. That sounds fun. I'd love to see your mocktail podcast. Bless. Love is true. Oh, LA, do share. I'm excited. Please do. Dogs get a lot of mental stimulation from sniffing that they do. Manifesting him works just a day later. Hey, manifesting him works just a day later. Arpojo, yeah, sometimes manifestation just takes like one moment longer, than you think it's supposed to. It's still just as manifestation. It's still just as instantaneous on like billion year time scales. But yeah, we don't see it that way. We want things now. Our instant gratification monkey says, no need to buy them. Tortilla shells are easy to make from scratch. If you've got a good pan, I have a decent walk, but I don't think I have any good pants right now. But you can make them yourself. Hmm. That would be a vibe. Does sound fun. But I'd probably only do it once. Because like a utility thing. The kitchen is not very big, and when I make things from scratch, it becomes a mess. I guess that's my fault. It probably is. How to not make mess. Sounds like your parents are making artisanal teas. It really does. Taco shells are for children. I'm sure you have soft flour tortillas. Yeah, we do soft flour tortillas a lot. Right? I do a lot of wraps. Wraps are a big thing as well. I should have actually mentioned that. Sometimes with the leftover beef, like mince and pasta, rice or whatever, or chicken vibes, we end up putting the leftovers into wraps, and then put it in a little little heat press, and that's also pretty nice. Those we do a lot. So yeah, same, right? No, not same. I'm sorry. I can't remember what heart combo I used to greet you. It's okay. You can create a new one. Love is true. Thank you, Loizana, for caring so much. Hello, lovelies. Hey, Zano and little banana. Bless you too. Jovan, I put a dab of creamed honey and a tiny pinch of cinnamon in my coffee. You're right, it does taste like a cookie. Thank you for the idea. Love is true. Bless. Thank you, Joy V, for blessing our little ones as well. Taco shells are for the people. Baby banana. Zano, are you having a baby? Yeah, yeah. Bless you, Zano. Ooh, I've never had creamed honey. I'm glad you like it. Bless. Mona Vic Pragnante. I gave Zano 2.0 nickname Banana themes of Zano. It's so loving. Thank you. Do you win? Not 100% sure. I'm doing my first ultrasound Thursday, but late January or early December. Could potentially be born in the new year. Being born in the year 2025. Does that melt your brain as well a little bit? It melts mine a little bit, thinking that I was born in 1998. That there are entities being born in the year 2025. How absurd. We're not done yet, humanity says. A New Year's baby. Not 100% sure. Love is true. I do think we're gonna end our stream a little bit earlier today. I want to cook and then settle into some warmth. Probably sleep a little bit more. I had like weird dreams last night as well. Dreams of like trying to accelerate. And the way my mind was like rendering an idea of what that acceleration is supposed to look like was by launch launching a spaceship, right? Like a rocket. And it's a big one, like enormous. Hundreds and hundreds of meters tall. And I'm like pegged against the side of it with a car that has extreme acceleration as well. And then as this rocket is like blasting off into space, I'm hitting, the pedal and driving as fast as I can into the vector that the gravity is pulling me down on. Right? And I don't know how, but my wheels do not slip from the side of the rocket as it hurls towards space. And I do not decelerate. And it was like that over and over again. As I was like holding onto the blankets with my body screaming for me to get out from under them, being like, no, no, die, viruses, die, fucking, don't you fucking dare, how dare you? creatures. I don't know what happened to my poor box of cards, but it looks like it took some damage. You see that? How did that happen? You'll see. This thing went straight through. It probably got like wrecked by being thrown into like a space with Sharpie thingies. It's okay. It's okay. Just add some character to the box. Allows me to work my light in the ways of. I'm trying to attach today's stream topic in the ways of being helpful. Helping myself to accept. Using my light to help myself accept even when things are not the way that I left them. I've been making autoimmune protocol wraps with equal parts cassava flour and tapioca or an arrowroot starch. 1 can of coconut milk and a pinch of sea salt. They are pretty good. That does sound really nice. Very healthy as well. Autoimmune protocol. Yeah, like that is like good for you on a macros level. It's good for you on a diversity level. Like you're getting your calories from a bunch of different sources at the same time. It's good for you from micronutrients because of those different sources. It's better for your glycemic index. It won't spike you quite as hard. All around good. So proud of you. Thank you for doing that effort. That sounds heavenly, LA. It really does. They're pretty bland, but they make serviceable wrap that can contain many glories within. Yeah, I'm like, if you're like, why am I doing this? It's because my my blankie is catching light, shining it down on the screen, making it nigh impossible for me to see your text. This helps. They're making an upgraded vessel for the Heavenly Delights. Yeah, they're definitely a delivery system. I wonder how I could upgrade them a bit. Herbs. You can add like some herbs. That would probably be my first bet. If you add some, if you add some basil and salt. I don't know if you're allowed. Yeah, a pinch of sea salt. Maybe 2 pinches of sea salt and some basil. And maybe if you're gonna go for it, some dried garlic. If you have that, powdered garlic could also be, but little bit, very small amounts, just for flavor. Because like garlic does do a lot of work when it comes to like upgrading flavors. I never know what I'm going to use them for. I could make 2 batches, one with spices and a little maple sugar, and one with herbs and garlic powder. There we go. Did you just type that out as I was saying it as well? Did we do that at the same time? Well, Jinx, we did. We did. How cool. Yeah. Look at us. Look at us being, like I typed before you said it. I believe you. I believe you. I could like it was too instantaneous. I was reading your comment being like, isn't that what I just said? Like and then you already typed it out, so yeah. Love is true. Love is true. That sounds like a good plan of action. You got there. The Age of Light. Have we pulled this card before? Maybe once, but a long time ago. The Age of Light. This that we're in right now is the Age of Light. You have been training for this for lifetimes. You think you exist right now and continue to exist right now just because? No. No, just because. Divine intervention. You are so loved. All of us are so loved just to exist at all. Bye all. Going to work early. You are loved. Have a good day at work, Nancy. We'll see you again soon. The Age of Light. I didn't guess. I was gonna say yellow. There is like a spectrum of yellow on those little edges. Look at that. So like the outer perimeter, and maybe some yellow on her chest as well, actually. You see that? Not her chest, maybe her pits, her armpits. That sounds weirder to say. Love is true. The age of light. The age of light. 86. My brain is like really womp womp about how all of us have been training for lifetimes to be who we are right now. And when you look at a person, you can judge them so harshly in an instance, negating, misinterpreting, not even seeing for a moment the lifetimes of training it took to be that version of themselves. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history. And it just so happens that you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you're supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you ever feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You have been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that you breathe through you. Yossi, Joy Vive. We even talked about this yesterday, right? The whole, I don't want a lawyer that just started, but you're way more than the days that have breathed through you in this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is a million times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all of the people you have been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you truly are. You came in with a soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is the part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward, that is ready to emerge. This is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth, to be seen, and to rise. Very appropriate card for today's stream, especially with what we were talking about yesterday, especially with what I've been going through emotionally, right? Feeling based. I'm happy that we didn't perpetuate any negative loops today. Did you notice? I noticed, and I'm happy about that. Hold this card on your heart and say, I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I have received throughout all of my lifetimes. I am ready to embody them all now without hesitation and without fear. I have been training for this for lifetimes. Lifetimes of training. Lifetimes of bashing my head against the metaphysical wall. Am I gonna succeed this time? Probably not. Probably not, because ego is the thing that attaches itself to what it thinks success is. Right? Right? So there is no true success. No true success as a person. Maybe success to that person. But ultimately, what is successful to consciousness is experience. And I have said this many times before, but I do believe that. What does that mean? No matter your wealth, no matter your importance, No matter your helpfulness, I should say as well, you are valuable. You are important still. And important not from the perspective of necessarily worldly weights, worldly values, but in my mind, to consciousness, to the everything. My favorite way of articulating this idea is that if you, in exactly the way you are, weren't here right now, there would be this you, and exactly the way you are, shaped void in the universe that cannot be filled by anything, right? And there is no such thing as nothing. So you are the everything. You are a part of the everything as much as everything else is. And surely that should like communicate some level of importance. JV yesterday mentioned as well that just by the fact that we've come this far as a species communicates a level of importance. So yeah, love is true. You are important to me. Thank you, friends, for making me feel important to you. I read comment. I look like the Venus of Wildendorf right now. I'm helping. It's helping me accept the changes. Love is true. I don't know what the lawyer. I don't want the lawyer that you can have him. I mean, my lawyer, if I ever need a lawyer, is probably gonna be AI, and relatively speaking, he's gonna be like a 5-year-old, you know, or something. I don't want to ever use a lawyer. I don't want to ever have to use a lawyer, but I'm probably by the time that I get sued by people just for existing, I'll fucking have a sick ass 5-year-old AI lawyer that will absolutely slap ass, you know, like style on people. I was just imagining this AI lawyer that has like an embodied form, like a robotic embodied form, and he just doesn't take himself seriously. You know, like goes the opposite way of like instead of being the whole professional demeanor, hands together fractal, you know, just like does backflips. Makes a sick ass point, does a backflip. Like lands the backflip without missing a beat, continues making more sick ass points. Right? That I would love that. I would be like, yeah. Yeah, you go, AI lawyer. You tell him. Hi everyone. I'm holed up in bed with hernia issues. Listening in, enjoying the company. My voice in Fitz experience in Fitz world right now is going straight for those hernias. Hey Google, what is a hernia? Mm, stomach or intestine, swelling and pain. Okay. I'm speaking to you directly now, little hernias. Just, just imagine what it would be like to not pain, to not discomfort, to wake up or to get out of your bed a little bit later and to be able to breathe that sigh of relief. I'm seeing it with you, dear friend. I hope you get better soon. I think she was discovered more or less where 99% of my ancestors are from. I miss some context. I'm a big fan of Venus of Willendorf. I don't know that one. Hey Google, show me Venus. Show me Venus of Willendorf. Oh, I mean, I mean, Venus of Willendorf. This is actually kind of. I've seen this so many times, y'all. And like seeing it now again in this context is kind of melting my brain a little bit. Is this lewd? A little bit. But that's the Venus of Eldendor. And that was painstakingly carved out of stone by a human being. Because in their world, that was That was the desired shape. Love is true. Cultures throughout the world. Yeah, if not for our human horniness, our species would have ceased to exist. I used to, and still am, a little bit of a, one of my friends call me a prude. Uh, Even though I don't like them calling me that, I don't think it's not true. And for a long time, I had a certain level of disdain towards, like humanity when it comes to the sexual nature of our species. And then it came like as like a silly moment of just someone saying that if it wasn't for our people's horniness, our species would cease to exist. And I don't know, like obviously that should be logical, but I've never made that connection in that way. And it made me let people off the hook a little bit. I still don't approve of the whole like 50% of our internet's volume being pornography. That really fucks with me. Like it hurts me a little bit. But surely, uh, we're gonna get over it. Right? Right? Because it's gonna be more personalized anyway. So it's not gonna be like this is a weird fractal to go down. No, please bring me back. Bring me back to Venus of Vendeldorf. All right. I think I'm all out of comments. I'm gonna generate or wait for a goodbye message. Maybe I'll play a little bit of drum. A little bit. That would be nice. My back. There our goodbye message comes. Love to you, Jovan. I'm like reading comments, trying to create some. No, you're not whoopsing. You're not making any mistakes, Joe. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jovan, for writing us a goodbye message. Now I know it's there. I'm gonna get my drum and then play a little bit of a boom boom and then say goodbye. I am returned. Oh, I want to sit in the sun right. Maybe I should reframe my shot a little bit. Should I do it like this? Bruh. Maybe that's it. Snickers. I know how you snuck in the food talk into the goodbye message. Love is true. I'm gonna stay underneath all of these blankets. There we go. That's enough of me. Do you feel like I have done the thing? I have beaten the box. I have shown up for you, friends. Thank you for joining me once again. Liam's floating banana was the best. Yo. Frank, what's up? That dude's on a level. Snickers. Also, my future lawyer is gonna be Liam's floating banana. Bless. No one will win the case against the faceless floating banana. It's so cursed, and I had to make sure, like, faceless is like, yo, bipedal? Nope, just banana. With a disembodied voice. That would be so hilarious. Hope your body continues to heal now. Thank you, Tristan. I'm sure it will. It's getting stronger by the second. I can feel it. I can feel it. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I hope you have the mostest, the mega mostest, bombastically beautiful day. Yes, everyone. You are for realsers and truth, so appreciated. Meliorative. Meliorative. Hey Google. Define meliorative. Meliori. Nope. Meliorative? I'm giving my poor Google a stroke. Meliorate? Bruh, you know what? Mystery. Meliorative. Meliorative? I don't know that word, but I want to. Meliorative. I'll just fucking type it, bro. Meliorative. Not comparable or rare. Nice. Meliorative. I'm still not sure if I'm saying it correctly though. Meliorative. 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 Meliorative? Meliorative. Is that how you say it?
Meliorative.
Meliorative. Nice. Thank you, technology. You're for realsers and truthy, so appreciated. Meliorative, melt more. And all of you, oh so curiously creative, cool as a cucumber, neat as a narwhal, sweet as a Snickers, beautiful as a butterfly, brave as a bear, authentically altruistic as an angel, wholesome, humanimal critter creatures, focusing your energy on being helpful. Jeez, they're so special. Your goodbye messages are meliorative, Jovan. Boom. Boom. I know how to use words. Love is true. Faceless, limbs, intelligent banana with disembodied voice. Someone get Dan Harmon in here. Imagine a poker game against the lawyer AI banana. That thing is gonna take over the world. Like imagine that, like we're like tripping out about these Terminators, like literally skeleton as robot looking motherfuckers. Meanwhile, the AI that takes over the world is just disembodied voice, right? Not other word, like it doesn't come from the banana. You know the AI is the banana, but the voice comes from everywhere. No directionality. And then just floating banana. No expression. That's the AI that takes over the world. But Riker and Mr. Wolf at the table too, and you've got a game. Meliorative. And comparable, Sam. I love when those guys play poker. I love you. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing another moment like these. And I look forward to doing so more tomorrow. Goodbye now.